PayPal's experience was that it was very successful, but it was a very tough success. So I think if you succeed too easily or fail too hard, there's not much learning.
So if you succeed too easily,
right,
or you fail too hard,
right,
you don't learn a lot. It's in the middle.
Right, exactly.
Moderate success, hard-fought success,
right,
but not soul-crushing success.
Well, I think there's some startups that just nail it like out of the box so quickly that it's almost like they planted their flag and then boom, oil just shot up out of it.
Yeah,
and then
we're done.
Yeah, they're running around like just with pans trying to capture the oil, and then it's mostly about capping the well and making sure the thing scales. I mean, like you look at something like Twitter where they launched it, it kind of was sideways for about 9 months.
SMS.
And then it just blew up.
Yeah,
and the thing's
year
gone,
two. Yeah.
They've been through like 3 management teams, and they've done rolled out some good features, and they finally they've made it scale and everything. So
yeah, finally.
Finally. So it's not like they've done nothing, but for the most part, the product is very similar to what it was.
It's 60% of the original product, 40% new,
right.
Which for a 5 or 6 year old company is pretty. Not really like a lot of feature enhancements. I mean, they've only gone through, 2 revisions of the website?
But it's just somehow the original product was good enough it could just scale to the moon. And so,
lightning in a bottle.
Yeah, it was just total lightning. And so, and then on the other extreme, I think there are startups where I don't believe in this whole fail hard, fail fast thing. I think if you fail too hard, you just don't learn anything from it.
Right.
So, with PayPal, we were able to grow very quickly, but we also had brutal competition because we were competing with eBay itself, and they owned the platform. And so
you had fraud.
Right, we had fraud, so we were just
big problems.
Yeah, we were being attacked by every fraudster on the planet.
The Russian Mafia, all these guys were going crazy. But what about eBay? You were saying something about eBay.
Well, they owned the platform, and they were competing with us, so it was very scary. We were in a war, so we learned how to fight a war. And
everybody got tough.
Yeah, exactly.
And it seems like that group of people is extremely tough.
Yeah.
Well, what was the culture like there? Was it extremely like Asperger's, brutally honest, like hardcore?
It was.
Elon Musk, you, Max Levchin. I mean, these are like.
It was very truth-seeking,
truth-seeking.
I'll put that in quotes. Yeah, meaning
you fought a lot.
Yes, there's actually like a lot of friction. I think we all respect each other, and that's why it worked. But there was a lot of yelling sometimes, and we just cared about getting to the right answer. And we were also very paranoid. I mean, every day was like, okay, the company's going to die. How do we prevent that from happening? And so every day was like it's like stack ranking of like all the ways we could die and like how do we basically eliminate those risks.
Wow.
There's a lot of that going on.
Intense.
It was very intense.
Were those, putting aside your family and all that kind of stuff, were those the best moments of your career, best moments of your life? Like those, like when you look back on those hard-fought moments, the ones with the yelling, the screaming, and the brutality, and the fighting, and the near-death experiences, do you look back on those with like some joy, or do you look back and I'm like, oh God, that sucked?
Well, I think what happens is because the experience was successful, you look back on it very positively.
Right.
I think if it had been unsuccessful, you'd look back and go,
bitter.
Oh God, yeah,
this is terrible.
Yeah, it's terrible. So I do think that like what happens actually really colors the experience in hindsight. I wouldn't say it was like the best experience of my career. I think that what I'm doing now is as good as what I was doing then, but. I don't want to be one of these guys who's like in the good old days.
The good old days. Yeah, well, clearly now you're in charge.
Right.
I mean, you were president at one point of PayPal?
Yeah, I was the chief operating officer.
Chief operating officer.
Yeah.
But now you're the CEO. I mean,
what's
the difference?
Well, the difference is interesting. When I was COO of PayPal, I felt like I could just take the most draconian course of action. Like I would always recommend to Peter, like obviously the thing that I thought was right, but it just didn't take into consideration like any factors other than
the right decision.
That moment, and if it meant throwing out a year's worth of code, I'd be like, I don't care if it hurts the engineer's feelings. Like this is what we have to do. It's strategically right. Like you have when everything's not on your shoulders, you can see things in a little bit more black and white terms. Now, when the whole company is riding on you, and you're like the last point of decision.
Heavy is the head that wears a crown.
Yeah, so you have to be, I think, a little bit more nuanced in your. You have to be, I think, more multi-factor in your decision making.
You can't just say, this is the best for the company, we're doing it.
Well, it was more like I was very product-centric as CEO. I'm still very product-centric as CEO, but now, if there's a battle, for instance, between what sales wants and what product wants, like,
you have to keep the sales department happy and humming, and you have to keep the developers happy and humming along, and there's going to be some negotiation.
Right, exactly, yeah. So it's you have to see shades, I think, a little bit more when you're the CEO.
Yeah.
If you want your business to succeed online, it has to stand out, and that's why you need a beautiful, world-class website. The good news is you don't have to hire an expensive designer anymore, nor do you need a bunch of developers. No, Squarespace has all the tools you need to claim your domain and start building your company. Hey, maybe you got a product to sell. Maybe you want to show off some samples of your work. Maybe you've got a new service you're providing. Well, Squarespace is the all-in-one tool you need for your business to grow and flourish. And they offer beautiful templates. Maybe you want to start an online course, or you're scheduling appointments for people. Maybe you're generating client invoices. All of that is built into the product. Everything you create with Squarespace is pre-optimized to show up in search engines as well. So you don't need to hire some expensive SEO person. Nope. They're building your meta descriptions, they're setting you up with an auto-generated sitemap, and the SEO is done before you even get started. Plus, there's a new AI-powered feature. It's called Blueprint, which makes it easier than ever before to customize your website and make it really pop. So check out squarespace.com/twist for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/twist to get 10% off your first website or domain purchase. That's squarespace.com/twist.